So today, this is the third and final leg of the setup video of my Amcrest setup. Now, I'm not mounting the cameras yet. This is just setting that up with the system and unboxing and showing the camera itself. I will show you where I actually will have mounted it in my full review video, but it's pretty simple like any other camera that when you mount it. But these are PoE, so they will require an Ethernet connection back to your router or your switch or whatever you have that supplies power. So that said, guys, this is the 8 megapixel camera. It is a turret style camera, or a dome, or it's domeless technically. So let's bring the camera in, show the last beast of the 3 camera setup I have. Okay, so this is the camera I've been waiting for to see, the 4K camera version of the 5 megapixel turret that we did on the last video. So if you haven't watched those videos, I did the NVR setup first, then we did the 5 megapixel cameras. There's 2 of them, a bullet and a turret style. But we also did a NVR setup as well as a direct connect setup with using internal memory rather than the NVR. And then we actually did an NVR indirect setup. So that was kind of nice. This time we're going to do an NVR direct setup, but this video is more about seeing the camera, and but we are going to set it up as well. So just like the other ones, we have our standard quick start guide. We have a nice, it is a turret style camera, so it is a pretty large layout. This is something to make note though. The 5 megapixel version had 4 mounting points. This one only has 3. That is necessary at least. We do have, it does come with the standard 4 screws, so there's an extra in this one. It does have our weatherproof kit for our Ethernet cable that would be coming in. We do have the Torx bit here for adjusting the actual camera itself. And then we actually have the camera itself. And, ooh, this one's different. It is definitely different. So let me get this plastic off of it quick here, but it has more connection points. We have on here the PoE Ethernet and the 12 volt connection, which I expected. Then we have an audio in, an audio out, as well as, what's this guy, hardwire? Alarm out, and alarm in. So this actually has an alarm connection capability. So essentially, normally open, normally closed, you can connect this to your alarm system, I think, is what this is for. So it allows you to tie it in. If you're not utilizing this, I would probably tape it all up. That'd be my personal thought. But that's that. Now, I'm gonna take the protective plastic off so we can see everything in its beauty. I'm gonna rotate this down a little bit because we have a speaker on this one and the 2 screw holes that I'm assuming is gonna get us where, oh, maybe not. There's another door. Below that, we have the MicroSD card reset button. But we have a speaker on here. So this one is definitely bigger than the other turret. I'm gonna bring over the 5 megapixel turret that is I actually currently have turned on. You can see the difference. It is pretty massive. This is bigger in every way possible. Obviously everything. The cable coming out of it is thicker and bigger. The turret itself is larger. The camera inside the lens looks slightly bigger. The light is bigger. Sensors are bigger. It's bigger. But it is 4K versus, so 8 megapixel versus 5 megapixel. We are going to get higher quality video with this. Now, just like the 5 megapixel that when we did the bullet style camera setup, we're going to plug this in directly into I'm going to rotate this up a little bit. We're going to plug this into a port on the NVR, which I already have a patch cable plugged into. This is port 2, so it should come up as camera 2, because I don't have a camera in camera 2 spot anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in. Now, obviously, when I set it up outside, I will utilize the boot, the weatherproof boot. But in this case, this is just connecting it up and seeing what she looks like and how well it gets all connected and runs. So let's get set up so you guys can see the screen. Okay, this might take a second, but we should see it in D2 position once it actually arrives. But again, might take a minute. Okay, so we didn't get a, like the other ones, we got like a disk unable to connect or whatever, but this just came straight up. You can see here, let's double click on it. I'm looking forward to seeing the quality difference between the 5 megapixel and the 8 megapixel turrets cameras, because they're going to be the most similar to each other, right? Same body style and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing the difference between, well, actually it'd be these two in camera 1 and camera 2 position. It's hard to tell in here. In all reality, it's going to be really hard to tell on this video because we're not going to show everything we can show, right? But yeah, this is, you know, the thing is, nice thing is you double click, you can see everything on here. Pretty simple and pretty easy. Now I did want to show you something that I didn't show you on the other one. So if I right click here and go to main menu, we can go down here to the camera settings, and I've been in here before. Right now you can see channel D2, that's what this one is. If I go to D1, that'll show the D1, but it's only going to show cameras that actually have cameras attached to them. So like right now, looks like there's 2 different configurations. I guess you could probably save configurations to config 1, 2, or 3. So you can change the brightness, contrast, sharpness, saturation, gamma mirror, flip it. So like if we want to rotate it 180 degrees, so now I'm at the bottom rather than the top, we can do that. I'm going to hook it back to normal because eventually I'm going to do this. But exposure, white balance, modes. Oh, look at that. HLC NWR on there. So, all right, well, a lot of stuff in here. Overlays, we can change overlays. So like the date and times and stuff like that, we can change, we can put privacy masking on these guys. There's a lot of capability within this. And that's the same with any NVR, to be honest about it. But the nice thing is, if I go back, let's go cancel. If I go back to the camera settings, so under the remote device tab, I can see the 3 cameras I have connected. I'm in, like this one right here. This one, D1, is an IP-based direct connect on a 3777 port. D2 and D5 are actually on the NVR itself, and you can see the IP is different because these are direct to the NVR, so that NVR is hosting them. And in order to see these through my router or through my computer, I have to connect to the NVR, not directly to the camera. But you can see it's a quick and easy way to see exactly where it is. This one I can delete because it's not actually on the NVR, and I can remove it from my system. Because I'm actually going to put that directly to the NVR eventually anyway. But that's nice that that's all right here. And if we see, if we actually double click, so like this new camera we just put in, aha, look at that. We can actually change the information of that camera and all the settings for it. That's pretty cool. Interesting. And then we can change the, probably change the password for it directly as well. So there it is. Oh, and this is where we can actually check the status. There's no memory card on this one. This one is, so is that MD? Is that what that is? Let's check that one. There's the firmware. If we need to upgrade, we can detect to make sure it has the latest, has the latest, has the latest. Okay, so we're all latest firmware currently on these guys. So pretty cool on that one. Another item in here, cam name. We can actually change the names of each camera. So like if you want to do location, you can put the location on here. And then PoE is obviously only for those 2 ports that we're currently using. So that MD was motion detection. It was just seeing motion. So me moving in front of it, obviously it was sensing the motion. And then the other one was pointing at the screen. So when the screen saw motion, that's when it triggered that one as well. So that is the setup, quick setup of the 8 megapixel turret camera. It has some really cool advanced features that I'm really looking forward to testing, and we'll talk about in depth when we actually do the full review on these cameras. I'm really looking to seeing how well the AI, the facial recognition or person recognition, if nothing else, on these cameras acts. So I'm going to find a good place to put these. I don't necessarily want to remove cameras that I already have around my house that are my security cameras currently. And I have quite a few. I might replace maybe 1 or 2 of those locations, but the turret cameras that I have, I really want to put in the same location, looking at the same thing, so we can actually dissect the difference between the 5 megapixel and the 8 megapixel, so that you can understand whether or not you want one or the other. Now, those review videos are going to be on my Tech Gooch channel. I will link them on these videos once they are live. I will link all of them in all the videos, to be honest about it, so that you can easily get to whatever you need to go. Just go down to the description and click on what you need to click on. That said, if you have any questions, if you have questions or concerns prior to those launching, by all means, reach out to me. Head over to techgooch.com. You can get a hold of me direct if it's a real pressing question. You really have questions about these things, because I really want to help people out if you're looking at these specific products. That, or comment below. If I don't get to it, maybe somebody else will. You never know. So, thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. Amcrest, you are making some solid cameras. They're very well built. I'm really looking forward to how well they operate in the real world. This is not a review video. This is literally a setup video. We didn't install it technically. We just set it up. But I'm impressed already. Now, the NVR is a little different. It's not as advanced as maybe some of the other NVRs I've done, but it is light years better than at least one of them I've done. And I've done several NVRs setups, so this one not bad. You do have to use the mouse really, and it's not hard. It is tolerable, and it's just different. But then once you get the IP, then you can do everything on your computer. And I think I liked the setup on the computer better than I did with the mouse. But more than anything, at least I got everything set up, and it actually is handy. So I'm going to keep probably a monitor attached to it so that I can always look it up if necessary. So thank you for watching to the end of the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you back here for more video installs and tutorials. Make sure you check over on Tech Gooch for the latest review videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.